Today's tutorial is about evaluating web sources and the questions we ask when we do that. Number 1, authority. Is it obvious who is responsible for the website? There should be an organization name at the top of the web page, and there should also be an author. Number 2, currency. Does it have a date written or a date last updated? The date written refers to the article itself, and that would be at the top of the article with the author's name. The date last updated refers to the web page itself, and that date you would find at the very bottom of the web page next to the copyright symbol. Number 3, objectivity. Make sure it's not biased. Make sure it's not leaning one way more than another. You want it to be very balanced and factual. And number 4, support. Do they give references for their information? Do they tell you where they found their facts? Okay, so in my search for my topic, teen suicide, I found this example of an unreliable website. Okay, you can see automatically that this looks kind of generic, right? It's not very professional looking. In my search, I normally would have just turned right around and gone back and looked for another article. But for use as an example, I'm going to go through the 4 questions using this website. So number 1, authority. Is it clear who is responsible for this website? We have no organization name at the top where it should be, just this generic title, right? Also, I've been through each of these articles and I can't find a single name of who wrote it. And that's not a good sign. Number 2, currency. Is there a date written? I have been through all of these articles and there's not a single date. Okay, that's not good. And then date last updated. Remember I said that was going to be at the very bottom of the page. And if you look here, it says copyright 2005. Okay, so that is really old, so we would not want to use this. Objectivity, is it balanced? Yes, it doesn't seem to be biased, and it seems to be kind of straightforward and factual. However, to answer the 4th question, they do not cite their sources. Okay? Now, at the bottom of each of these articles, they do have this. Okay? That is somewhat of a citation, but we don't have a date. It's not a complete citation. Okay? And the fact that this website wasn't updated, hasn't been updated since 2005, I can pretty much bet that those sources are old as well. Okay, so we can't use this one for all those reasons. In my search, I also found this example of a reliable website. Okay, so applying our 4 questions. Number 1, authority. Is it clear who is responsible for this website? And if we look up here, we see, yes, the Jason Foundation, the Parent Resource Program. And do we have an author? If you look at these articles, you will not find an author, but that is not unusual. As long as we have an organizational name, it's probably just a staff writer, and that will suffice. Okay, moving on to currency. Is there a date written or a date last updated? Though there is not a date written up here, the date is in the citation. Okay, so we know that this article was at least written in 2013 or later, okay, which is acceptable. A date last updated would be down here at the bottom, and we see that it was last updated in 2016, so that is good news. Okay, objectivity. Is it objective? Yes, it is objective. And support. Do they support their claims with facts? And do they cite those facts? And the answer is yes, they do. Okay, so for all those reasons, this would be a reliable article that you could use. Once you start using these questions to evaluate websites, you really can't stop yourself. It becomes second nature. And the more you practice, the more efficient you will become in finding good sources.